The most crazy meltdowns on divorce court.
You are living in a fantasy world, baby.
It's not fair.
It may not be fair, but it's true. You are not going to sit here on this room with me and cry over somebody that does not deserve your tears.
She is.
This is drama.
You gotta give the man this.
I have no
kid.
I was excited when when she was pregnant. I was excited.
Even after 2 years of being together, Mr. McFadden doesn't feel that his on and off again was worth settling. He was willing to work as co-parents, but making things official was just a big no-no for him. Yeah, I know it even sounds bad. Let's see how baby mama is holding up.
I'm tired of the father of my child. He likes to play house with me a lot, but then whenever he's in the streets, that's when he wants to act like he's single.
Do you know what she's talking about over there? That you playing house, but you behaving as if you're single in the streets?
I don't know what she's talking about, but I told her from the day we met that I didn't really do relationships.
Whoa, woman was totally on edge. So the judge moved to Darren and asked if his baby mama's claims were true. Initially, he came out as completely denying and saying that Miss Wright was just making things up. He even testified that they had no strings attached.
I don't see any boundaries as far as me having to come home and play husband, come home and, oh honey, how was your day? No, I come home and here's the money, the bills are paid, and how's our daughter doing? Do you
Your
need
Honor, if
anything?
I can, he expects me to do these wifely duties for him.
Well, the macho man was trying to look all neat. However, Jasmine disclosed that his words were never lined up with his actions, 'cause he had Miss Wright playing the wifey. Yeah, made all sorts of false promises while he was out there living a free life. Now, how do you explain that one, mister?
She's saying because I want to do certain things that I want to do. Well, let's talk about how Darren has to into a sock. If I wasn't laying on the couch,
See, let me tell you. Let me tell you.
we wouldn't have issues with why Darren's going to find something
But
else.
no.
Up next, he tried to play the I am not appreciated enough at home card, as he was working 2 jobs to pay the bills and take care of the baby and the mama, while Jasmine lay all day doing nothing. And that is why he was looking for love outside. Are you falling for that? 'Cause I ain't.
It has nothing to do with how many times we're having sex. He's doing that because that's what he wants.
Wrong.
Well, Mr. McFadden, let me just Mr. McFadden, don't. Hey, not while I'm talking. Mr. McFadden, stand up.
Wait, I thought he was the victim in this whole nitty-gritty. But guess what? The judge could see right through him. So when she asked him why he was acting like a total nitwit, he responded that Miss Wright's inefficiency in taking care of the household is what is holding him back. Yeah, right. As if.
So he loves to throw that in my face, oh, why aren't you cleaning? But it's the same way. If I leave and I come back and the house is a mess, it's the exact same way. And he's like, oh, well, you know I had Bella. So it's okay for him to use that excuse as the baby.
Well, what's your excuse now, Mr. McFadden? P.S. I thought he'd get serious and provide some valid reasons for his actions. But he didn't. The guy was one I'm not obligated to roller coaster with. Like, come on, man, don't you get tired of this? I mean, just listen to what he did next.
This man, he didn't had another woman in our house. He says that Bella is his niece and I'm his sister, and we're just staying there with him.
Mr. McFadden, is that accurate?
Yeah, I'll go ahead and stand on that truth for sure. Yeah.
By now, it was clear that he was going to cheat anyway. No matter how hard the baby mama tried, the woman was playing the full-blown wife, including taking care of the child. And what was the father doing? Partying to the fullest. Jasmine felt like she was on house arrest.
Wherever I want to do it, it's always like, oh, I gotta worry about Bella, gotta wait till Bella straight. When he wants to go out, cheat. If he has to go to work, whatever Darren wants to do, boom, he can get up and go. The minute Bella starts crying and he's gone, he's out to do whatever he wants to do. And it's just, I don't feel like it's fair to me at all.
Time for a reality check. The judge cracked what was going on. Both of them had just grown apart, and the worst part was that there was suffering in the mix.
Miss Wright, let me say this to you. First of all, don't have no more babies. No more babies. Number 2, don't ever beg a man to love you. Never, ever beg a man to love you. So don't give it to him. Always be a grown woman about this thing.
No words or actions can push anyone to commit to you, and nonetheless, Ms. Thompson wants to test her luck at Judge Starr's court, if her man will finally put up the courage to pop the ring. But we all know on the condition things never go one way, Still, let's start with the plaintiff.
We are already 10 years apart, so my baby-making years have expired. My children are grown, and I was a single mother. He knows that I want to be married before we have a baby. He says he wants a baby, but every time we go to have sex, he wants to either use protection or he changes the subject.
So the woman fell for building a family and having a children card. On the other hand, the defendant refused to be painted as the villain. He claimed that he used to be head over heels for the woman in blue. But with time, her true colors came out, and now he's having second thoughts.
Over time, I've been seeing like her behavior and her personality traits are coming out. I'm gonna do it on my time.
Fair enough. Let's find out what has been happening over these last 5 years.
He's been misleading.
Further, we got to know that they even had picked up the ring. But right at the last moment, the not-so-groom changed his mind. It had been a year and a half since, but still no ring anywhere to be seen. Pointless Mr. Williams again shifted the blame on his gorgeous girlfriend.
To all of my family gatherings, she's been to Christmases, she's been to Thanksgiving, she's been to all the cookouts, but when it comes time to be around her family, she really is trying to separate me for that.
Further, Shafana told the court that the man of her dreams was a huge manipulator and he had robbed her out of hundreds of dollars. Now don't tell me, woman, that you're that dumb. Well, in her defense, that money was a loan, which she never got back. And that's why she avoided meeting the fammy.
It's been 5 years. I don't
It's
wanna
been
lose the whole
5 years. You're not losing the whole 5 years. You're gaining the next 5 years.
I want to have the 5 years with him. I don't want to start all over again. That's too much.
Misery is evident on the woman's face. She has had enough. Melting down like that on TV? I'm sure nobody wants that. But what about Orville? Was he such a scamp? In his words, he wasn't, as he was doing every bit he could to make her happy. He was taking her massages and dinner dates, and she was turning him down every time. Plus, accusing him of using her money.
It's no secret she's the breadwinner in this relationship, Your Honor, but she always throws that in my face.
No, that's your turn.
She always throws that in my face. She's constantly making me feel like I'm a child.
Nobody can make you feel like a child unless you act like a child. And a grown-ass man is supposed to be taking care of his own bills. I'm sorry. It sounds biased.
Whatever the guy was playing, the judge was not liking it at all. Their dynamic was just messed up, and they were actually at a point thinking of getting married and bringing a child into the world. Young life into this mix would have been too much, and Judge Starr made it clear like this.
They're always asking for favors. You start to resent them. Your emotional needs are never considered, let alone met. They never make you feel appreciated. Your family and friends have concerns about the relationship. They borrow money from you. They are actually the one in charge because you are the doormat.
Miss Thompson had a huge doormat on her face. She was being exploited and used in all terms. And this completely drained her, which turns into just a convenient piece of slack always lying available for her man. And now it had gotten to the point that she had to be for what she was promised.
You either marry me or you reimburse me. It's that simple. I have the ring already. All you gotta do is get on your knees and propose.
She is not gonna rob me of my manhood. I'm gonna get a ring. I'm gonna propose to her when the time is right.
Take this one.
I have not even got to build a relationship with her family.
This is not your husband.
For your honor, so much time invested in him.
Yeah, Judge, preach. You both are just not compatible. Like existing in two different worlds had gotten to a new level. Everyone felt bad for Shafana, including the Judge Starr. But she brought this on herself, so it was time for a reality check.
Your
It's not
boyfriend.
fair. It's not fair.
It may not be fair, but it's true. He is not your husband. And cry over somebody that does not deserve your tears.
The judge was right. This man didn't deserve the tears or acceptance. We also jumped to that conclusion, but there was another bomb to drop in this reality court show. No, we're not exaggerating, because we know it takes two to tango.
I saw her having a conversation with somebody and I found out she's been lying to me and she has her tubes tied.
You know that.
You know I wanted to have a baby with you. You know I want to marry you, but you've been lying to me. You've been leading me on this entire time.
Quite a turn of events. She had her tubes tied. Maybe this is why she was keeping her family away the whole time and trying to guilt him into marrying her. Talk about a low blow. People would do anything. I'm sure the judge saw this coming. Or did she?
I have never seen the most dysfunctional people who lie to each other, who steal each other's dreams, who pretend that they are in love, but they have no respect for themselves or each other. The example that you are setting is not one that I admire. And sir, pay for your own stuff.
High school sweethearts thought they could build a life together, but children having children? That's never a good idea, because they broke each other in every way possible. So after the chaotic separation, the couple is headed to a brutal divorce. And the worst part is that the daddy at the podium hasn't seen his newborn yet. But let's start with Mommy. Why is she being so cold?
You gave birth to a baby girl less than 3 weeks ago, but Mr. Barton has yet to see her. How did that happen?
He has not seen his baby because when I was 9 months pregnant, he took my phone, reported it stolen. He took my car that he bought for me. We had 2 separate cars. He took my car keys. He left us stranded. He doesn't care about us. He cares about himself.
You heard Jasmine. So she was practically standard by her husband and had to go through the labor alone. Rough, right? She further told how they both got into a brawl and he practically manhandled his pregnant wife over a SIM card. Disappointing. Who does stuff like that anyway? Well, this made Mommy rush outside and bash his car. And in this hot mess, Edwards called the cops on her. Nonetheless, is that how things got down?
It was
a hot, brazen mess.
I ended up going to jail that day because I broke the back of his window, our new car. But I broke the back of his window. He called the police.
She has always had an anger problem. She's done things like this all the time. That's just the furthest that she's taken it. When she did that, then I was already slowing down, but that shut my emotions down.
That was just it.
Bashing his car was just the match in the powder barrel, which burned their marriage. Still, they stayed together as none of them had a good place to go. But he asked his pregnant wife to pay rent of $500. Not a good idea. Listening to this, the judge called Mr. Martin's father, Jasmine, who told the court this.
The SIM card, I kind of got the tail end of it, but complete end of it was he had his wife arrested and put in jail because his back window was busted out. Now, he didn't tell that he pepper sprayed her. She didn't have him arrested for that. He pepper sprayed her earlier on in their marriage.
Did you actually pepper spray your wife?
Yeah, did you? Pepper spray for real? Well, in his eyes, she was getting physically abusive and he had no other option. Still, he was careful while he was doing it. Wow, how considerate of you. Do you think the judge is gonna buy that? Not.
You actually pepper spray your wife?
It was an incident that happened at our old house where she was getting abusive and I picked up some pepper spray. I told her, if you hit her, I got her in the back of the neck, not the face.
My husband can't pepper spray nowhere in my direction. He can't pepper spray my toe.
After this, police came in and they took in the violent one, hence wifey was jailed. However, she told the judge that the arrest was made on the terms of child endangerment, not on vandalism. Confusing. Nonetheless, let's get to the question of why we haven't seen the baby girl.
My question is, why hasn't he seen her? Has he tried and failed or simply failed to try?
I could say a little bit of both. I believe, he's been sending me messages on Facebook. The only reason he sent me messages is because he knows we're coming to court and he needs to have proof that, oh yeah, I did try to see my daughter. He doesn't care about me or his kids.
The plaintiff further claimed that he never interacted with kids and even took her phone. So the judge moved and asked why he wasn't stepping up for his baby girl, which revealed that he was not informed about the child and got a dependency email. Come on, woman, how low can you go?
How did you find out she had the baby?
I was at work 2 weeks ago and got an email saying that my dependency has changed due to a new dependent's birth.
When we're at home, he doesn't have any interaction.
Did he know
with
when
Levi.
you went into labor? Did you inform him?
I didn't call him. He took my phone.
So she was holding a grudge against him. She negated it by saying that he was just playing the desperate daddy, as he was never there for any of his children. And now the guy was disrespectfully reaching her family in threatening messages.
There she is. What's her name?
Leilani.
Let me tell you
he
something.
is a drama king. This
Yeah,
is
but I haven't
drama.
Miss Barton, you gotta give the man this.
I have
That's
no
his kid.
I was excited when
This is
when
the
she was
only
pregnant. I was excited.
He has a previous daughter. He said he never wanted her. He said he never wanted
Exactly.
Levi.
I did say
but
those
he want
things,
her.
but I
You
was
can't
excited
pick and
about
choose
her.
what kids you want.
Well, that is no drama king. The man was just melting to see a baby girl come by a woman. But mommy was playing the same record. Yada yada, never wanted his precious child, and now crying over this one didn't make any sense to mama. no sympathy for the husband.
Did you write an email anywhere that sounded anything like, you know, a man can get dangerous when he doesn't see his kid?
I'm angry. I'm depressed. So most likely, yes. Am I trying to threaten them? No, but I'm trying to let them know the severity of the situation. I haven't seen my baby that's been born. I just want to see my daughter.
You know, threatening people ain't the way to get that
No,
done.
not at all.
You know
But
what I mean?
I tried the nice way too, and that doesn't work.
It was just clear that the plaintiff was just married and a mother. They were both hitting each other below the belt and both abusive, acting like stubborn children while raising their own. The mother lacked her center and no man could fix it. And the judge had this for the daddy.
You don't leave her without access to a car and to a phone when she is in a condition where she could be harmed. I think that she starts a lot of mess, but you're just as childish as she is. And as the man in the home, the guy that's supposed to be the thing that stands between her and all harm, it's even worse. There will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.
Do you believe that some people would do anything to save their marriage? This is the case with a man whose wife is looking to have a polygamous relationship with him. Let's see if he would stay with her.
My wife can be a bit clingy and emotional, and we move a lot. In the last 6 years, we moved a total of about 10 times. Over a period of time, by us moving so much, it's hard for her to kind of hold on to friends like that.
Sure.
Because we moved to different places, different times and stuff. So one of the things that came up, and she has a problem with me being friendly with women.
Samantha and Franklin were having a little chat with the judge about their marital issues. The root of their problem was Samantha's insecurity about her husband's friendly nature toward other females. To make matters worse, Samantha would snoop through Franklin's emails and let jealousy take over her emotions. Instead of reassuring her, Franklin's behavior only fueled her insecurities.
I love my husband to death, but he's a little narcissistic, and he made it seem like it's a fantasy, like me and the other woman to go hand to hand, go get our hair done, and be best friends and everything, but I think it's kind of, you know, just so that he can have a dominant
It's extra sex is what it is, isn't it? I mean, that's what it is.
As the couple explained their situation, Franklin even went on to defend his actions by claiming that Samantha had violated his privacy in the past. But hold on, the judge was not amused. With stern looks on their face, they told the couple that going through each other's emails was a major breach of privacy.
I don't believe that he's cheated, but I believe he's actively looking at all times.
I'm not, because what she does is she goes through my emails. I don't know what she has, my passwords. I don't know how she goes, she
Your Honor,
finds
no.
out stuff.
In the beginning, I did go through his phone once because he's glued to it 24/7, and I saw pages and pages and pages of emails.
Instead, they should communicate and work together to solve their problems, not dig through each other's correspondence. Trust and communication are key in any relationship, and snooping through someone's private messages, that's a big no-no. Wouldn't you agree?
Find out through hands and speaking and touching, and that I'm home with you for these 4 hours during the day, and I'm gonna concentrate on you instead of chit-chatting with John, Joe, Bobby, Sue, and Eleanor all night long.
Samantha also revealed that her husband has anger issues. This comes as a shock considering he's a friendly person, and that's what made Samantha jealous. Samantha recounts a harrowing experience when she attempted to soothe her husband's anger with a massage, which resulted in an explosive outburst.
His temperament is something like a Doberman Pinscher. He's real, you know, laid back and mellow, but he goes from 0 to 10 instantly. So, like for instance, he was in an argument with someone on the phone, and I'm a pleaser, so I tried to offer a massage just to get him calmed down. He said, "What does it look like I'm a female to you?" He slapped me with a wad of money and left.
Despite her best intentions, her husband's rage intensified, and he lashed out, declaring that he didn't need a massage because he was not a woman. Would you believe that? To add insult to injury, he even struck her with the wad of cash he'd been counting, leaving her in shock and disbelief.
You know, and the first thing she talking about is doing a facial. And then she got mad and stormed off, slammed the door, and so we argued for a minute back and forth. Then I go down around the corner to the pool hall, and I stay gone for about an hour because we was arguing for a little while. When I come back, the pictures tore off the wall, her bags is gone, and she took our savings.
You threw money at her?
I was counting money for a reason now.
Franklin's eyes lit up as he recounted the story of how he and his ex-wife met. Amidst the chatter and noise of the party, there was one girl who stood out, and that was her. As he shared how they spent countless unforgettable moments together, It was clear that their love was once a beautiful thing. But here's the plot twist. Despite their mutual decision to move from one place to another and the absence of finger pointing, they still ended up in the divorce court. So, what went wrong?
Mr. White, tell me about Brujetta.
So I met her 09. We were at a party at a friend's house. She was the only person there that caught my attention. Yeah, I like my women kneel, so conscious. She came out to my house. From there, we didn't have a TV or nothing. We just kicked it. We had a good time, but when she kind of left her family, they told her she was going to get shot as soon as she got off the plane.
After much deliberation, the wise judge finally reached a verdict that Samantha and Franklin should be together. But hold on, there was a catch. The judge recommended that Samantha should loosen her grip a little and strive to lead a more fulfilling life. By doing so, she would become more confident and secure in herself, earning Franklin's respect and admiration in the process. It sounds like a solid plan, but what do you think is the perfect solution to their problem?
Mrs. White, you can solve your own problem here. You can move around with things that you like to do. You be more interesting to yourself. Enjoy whatever hobbies, and if you live a larger life, you won't need him to answer the phone every 5 minutes. So there will be no recovery in this matter. It is so ordered.